As of today, November 21st, 2018, I'm officially disassociating myself from the Proud Boys. In all capacities, forever, I quit. I was told to use the term stepping down, but I refused because that makes no sense. I was never the leader, only the founder. Although the media will likely say Gavin Mcinnes steps down as leader of extremist hate group Proud Boys, because that's how they roll. I do all of this reluctantly, because I still see it as the greatest fraternal organization in the world, but rumors and lies and terrible journalism has made its way to the court system. And the NYC9, the Proud Boys arrested after I did a talk here in New York on October 12th, are facing serious charges. I'm told by my legal team and law enforcement that this gesture could help alleviate their sentencing. Fine. At the very least, this will show jurors they are not dealing with a gang and there's no head of operations. We are not an extremist group and we do not have ties with white nationalists. That's a sentence that was pulled out of a Vancouver police report that, and not one reporter talking about this ever spoke to the FBI. Not one reporter. It's in a police report in Vancouver. It's an FBI dictum. We disavow all forms of alt-right, white supremacy, white nationalism, etc., etc. We are a multiracial club with blacks, Jews, gays, Asians, etc. And one thing I want to get into later is this whole idea of white nationalism and white supremacy is a crock. Why are we talking about it so much? Such people don't exist. Anyway, we have created a legal defense fund for the boys. It's at fundthewest.org. These guys deserve legal representation. This is one of them, by the way. This is Big J with his wife and kids. He's fired now, thanks to this lazy journalism, and these kids are now at a severe disadvantage because their dad's no longer making money. Nice work, journalists. Activists will likely shut this page down. It's a sort of a bracelet system where you can buy anything from a $25 one to a $5,000 one, and all the proceeds go to their lawyers. I just bought a $5,000 wristband today, and I'll be contributing more. I already said the thing about the FBI. I don't quite understand how we got here. We started this club because a producer for my old comedy vidcast was a 24-year-old virgin who refused to quit porn. It could have been called the Getting Ben Laid Club. We punch each other until you can name 5 breakfast cereals. That's from high school, when if you farted and didn't say safety, everyone got to punch you until... That's right, you can name 5 breakfast cereals. And I remember some guys started memorizing breakfast cereals, so we had to change it to chocolate bars. We go to Vegas every year in Hawaiian shirts. I shouldn't say we. The third person pronouns are going to get confusing here. We wear Hawaiian shirts and they call themselves the Margarita Boys. Our secret handshake is from the Predator. We talk about the elders like they're some kind of omnipotent force, which is an inside joke from Fraggle Rock. The name of this club comes from a video we used to cringe watch because, like all red-blooded American males, we hate musicals.
Proud of your boy. I'll make you proud of your boy. Believe me, bad as I've been, Ma, you're in for a pleasant surprise.
I still hate that song.
I've wasted time. I've wasted.
Why does he have to say time so long? Anyway, sorry, stop. You could actually keep playing it super quiet. Is it conceivable to anyone out there that there may have been an element of humor to all this? Actually, it's distracting me. Turn it off. Joking around with your buddies is 99% of what men's clubs are, and they used to be everywhere. Feminists made them verboten in the 1980s, and thanks to this myth of toxic masculinity, apparently they're verboten today. This is a funny clip from One Day at a Time from the 80s when they were doing a sort of a satirical news piece on the death of men's clubs. And this is as they were dying in the 80s. Check it out. This is who we are.
Do you feel that fraternal organizations, men's clubs, lodges, etc., are fading from the American scene?
Fading? You gotta be kidding. They're the backbone of this country. I can't speak for the Elks and the Meese, but we're turning them away down at the SOBs.
Down at the what?
Secret Order of Beavers, North Central Chapter.
Secret Order of Beavers.
Wayne F. Schneider, activities chairman and entertainment procurer. Listen, if you'd like to join, this Friday night we're having our annual stag party and beer bust.
Well, I don't know.
How sinister.
BYOC.
Huh?
Bring your own clams. Make a lovely
That's
dip.
enough. You faux intellectuals and radical leftists are analyzing every detail about us like we're some kind of sinister religion when it's more like Jackass meets Animal House. We, or they, are not even looking for new members. There's no agenda. There's no recruitment. Recruitment is making sure they're not alt-lefters who are going to dox you and get your bar attacked. There's already too many members. In New York, a good meetup is like 30 dudes. In New York City, it's 100. We don't want more members. We're turning them away at the Beaver Lodge. Anyway, this gesture is bizarre because I'm not stepping down from a position. I'm stepping down from a perceived position. I am to the Proud Boys what Malcolm McLaren is to punk. There are about 10,000 members around the world, and they certainly don't need me to survive. This is not cutting off the head of a snake. It is simply removing a colorful scale from its side. I'm happy to do it, however. I would do anything for these guys. I'd have sex with a man if it would keep them out of jail. However, I would want it to be a trans man, like even Caitlyn Jenner. I assume that's less traumatic. Maybe not. Maybe it'd be even weirder. To be honest, I don't fully understand why this would please the courts. We are not a gang. Yes, I have used hyperbolic language on comedy podcasts while dressed like the guy from Falling Down. An actual gang requires two things. It needs a leader, and it needs to be engaged in illegal activities. Neither is true with the Proud Boys. All this technically means is I can't grab beers with my brothers once a month because I did a talk. Some might say this violates America's freedom of association and we've lost our right to free speech. I'm not saying that. I can't. My real crime here, and the thing that started this entire mess, this propaganda firestorm, was mocking socialist Democrats. I did this before an election at a time when the left was being known for mob violence and the socialist Democrats were desperate to obfuscate the narrative. Jobs, not mobs, had just become a popular meme, and the left needed to provide an example of a right-wing mob. In other words, the DNC needed the story, the Antifa happily did their bidding, and the media was only too happy to get it out there. Truth be damned. I don't even really hate it or fear Antifa, by the way. I see them as low IQ rich kids who are desperate for some kind of substance in their spoiled brat lives. And they're used as puppets by the DNC. By the way, incidentally, there was just a rally in Philly. It was put on by some old boomer patriots who love the Constitution, and it was just a bunch of guys waving flags. The radical left claimed it was Proud Boys who were going to have it at a Jewish museum right after the synagogue shooting. Can someone just stop and go, that's pretty unusual? How'd they get a permit? Like these people who do stuff like that. Hi, I'm the mayor. I'm in a group called the Proud Boys. Oh, okay. Oh, the radical hate group? Yeah. We want to have a rally at a Jewish museum. Yeah, okay, no problem. Boom. It was a quarter mile away and it wasn't Proud Boys. I mean, doing something like that after a shooting in 1943 in Germany would be egregious. I'm sure the Nazis there would go, maybe we should wait a little while. That's a little intense. This is how far off the mark this propaganda has become. You guys are lunatics. Anyway, I think, let's jump ahead here. So anyway, when confronted with this obvious contradiction, when they see Proud Boys with black wives and stuff, they say non-white Proud Boys are just stupid and they don't understand what they're a part of. It's like if you insist someone is gay and then you see him having sex with a woman, you go, what a loser. He thinks she's a dude. Oh yeah, and also at that rally, so the one guy who was a Proud Boy did show up. You just saw him, David Kierkegaard. He's one of the guys, by the way, fighting for his rights, fighting to stay out of prison. And these guys were beaten and shoved. So you had a mob of rich white kids shoving two visible minorities because they dared to check out something that they were told they were a massive part of. And at that same rally, there's some Jewish guy, and they went, he's a Nazi too! And they attacked the Jewish guy. I think these radical leftists are facing hate crimes because they beat up a Jewish guy because they thought he was a Nazi. How did we get here? We are living in clown world. And then in Portland on Sunday, there's this Asian Trump supporter who showed up at a rally, and they were screaming racial epithets at him. They were calling him gook and chink. Again, rich white kids yelling at visible minorities in the name of fighting white supremacy.
Bringing disruptor online.